Good morning, everybody. This is Christy from the Be the Light YouTube channel. I thank you so much for stopping by, and as always, I send you love. We have another planetary parade that is going to occur on July the 19th with 5 planets that are going to be visible to the eye. And that's what this video is about. I expressed that we are in for a major shift, and maybe it was only through my social media pages, I can't recall. But I have been feeling it, and I think I did mention it in a couple of my videos recently, that prior to a jump, there's going to be a sense of things falling to pieces. Or emotions that are resurfacing again that seem to trigger you or make you feel as if you're falling back to your old self. Now, I've had very brief moments, which began like Tuesday and Wednesday, and very brief, but I noticed them. I was being triggered by other individuals or anything that took place with myself, whether I was by myself or with other individuals. Aggravation came up, and fear again came up. I didn't deal with abandonment today. I mean, this go round. But I did notice that this was taking place, and I also, during this time, I also was feeling a lot of bliss. So that was my indication that something is about to shift. And here we are. We are waking up to, in a few days, this rarity. And it's not just that. I'm making other videos about a lot here that is coming into play. But after the 19th, closer to the end of the month, we will have all 9 planets together at one time. The remaining 4 will not be visible without a telescope. This is huge. And so I wanted to spend some time, brief time, about what all of this represents. During this planetary parade, again, we will have a crescent moon. Now, something that caught my awareness is, as I was doing research on what the crescent moon kind of symbolizes, it is thought that the 3 wise men were viewing the crescent moon, and here it is, during the Jupiter and Saturn alignment. Jupiter and Saturn are in opposition, or are currently getting out of that opposition as this planetary parade comes in. So that piqued my interest here. The crescent moon is a symbol of birth. It is kind of like that half moon, where in just a few more days, you are going to be experiencing a full moon, or a new moon, excuse me. So, I think the new moon appears on the 20th, if I am correct about that. But then I went and looked up what there was something that also piqued my interest, is the Venus of Lassal goddess. If you know anything about her, then you will understand what this is. And she's standing holding a horn, kind of like in her right hand, with 13 notches, I believe that was that are carved into it or carved out of it. And 13 is a sacred number. And her other hand is sitting on her womb. Again, it's an indication of birth. So I want to just make you aware of that. Now, the planets that will be within this planetary parade are Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. So Jupiter and Saturn have been in opposition, now line up here with this planetary parade. So Mercury, of course, is a Greek in Greek mythology and represents messengers to the gods. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time here, but Mercury represents communication, which affects your throat chakra. This is about your mind, communication, again, intellect, your reason, your language, and your intelligence. Because without proper intelligence, without proper mind, reasoning, you cannot communicate properly. If you don't know what it is that you believe in, how you are feeling, and things like that, you don't communicate properly. Mercury is all about proper communication of your higher self, of who you know you are. Someone who is in alignment with proper communication or has their throat chakra working, you don't just speak out and abruptly interrupt individuals. You are also someone who can hear and give advice. You can listen and give advice. A lot of an indication that you are blocked is that you, one, will not hear someone else's point of view, regardless if you believe in it. Being able to hear someone's point of view is important. And then another indication of it being blocked is that you interrupt them all the time, trying to give your viewpoints, which are probably you being stuck in a limited mindset. So you're pressing your own views on people without hearing their side of things. You think you're right all the time. It's your way or no way type of mentality. Venus, associated with love, relationships, whether it's your relationships in your family, your marriage, your children, relationships with money. She affects that, which is also associated with our heart chakra. If your heart chakra isn't functioning, you can be overbalanced or underbalanced to the point that you give way too much love and you have high expectations of love being given back to you. Therefore, you're always disappointed. Someone who doesn't give love enough is someone who keeps people at arm's length and will only give love whenever it is under their own conditions. I hope all this helps because I am just doing roundabout here. I'm not getting to every single thing that's associated with it. You should know where you are. Closed off, too much, with expectations, bitterness, all of that is associated with a blocked heart chakra. And someone who is giving too much, again, is an overactive chakra. But then again, you expect way too much in return. True love has no expectations, no conditions, no demands on the individual. Mars is about willpower, energy, drive, vitality, stamina, courage, sexuality, whether feminine, the feminine or masculine. And it's associated with your sacral plexus, or sacral chakra, excuse me. This is also associated with the womb. If you don't feel worthy, appreciated, If you have had a lot of sexual trauma or witnessed divorce or relationship issues at an early age, like watching your parents or other family members go through breakups or abuse, it's going to sit there, as well as the root chakra, but both of those come into play. Jupiter is about the solar plexus, which is personal power, worthiness, self-appreciation, value again, and this is where many of our limiting beliefs are stored. This is also where the twin flame is ignited within us. Saturn is associated with your third eye, and this is about guidance, higher states of consciousness, understanding the vastness of the cosmos, timelessness, and peace. Of course, if you don't feel any of that, it is under balance, or you can be someone who thinks that, again, you know everything. So it's important to keep in mind that when certain planets are, whether in retrograde or in alignment, like they're going to be here, or anytime there's one singular, or in effect anyway, it's going to affect you with that associated chakra system as well, bringing balance, stability to those areas, purging, of course, so that you can always be your higher self. So with all of these planets coming into alignment on July the 19th, there's an intense amount of purging stability that is trying to take place. If you're early on in your process, you may have or may experience tons of sluggishness or tons of energy, depending on how you are integrating those energies. For myself, I know where I am at based upon my own emotions. And this is something that you should always be mindful of and be honest about. Your honesty will either prevent you from moving forward or allow you to move forward successfully. So I know with my heart that I am at this receiving of higher energies based upon my success rate in purging out. Of course, I have my inner guidance that I also receive that also indicates it. But there are people who are just beginning with their awakening process and are going to experience more physical pain symptoms like that. And that's how it began for me as well. My purging process really made me feel physically limited. Tons of body pain. I mean, it was like everywhere, being like knocked down by everything. I felt like I was hit by a Mack truck pretty much all the time for a long time in the beginning. Change in appetite is always going to fluctuate. Fogginess is going to be associated with all of this. Palpitations, hunger or lack of hunger. I haven't been hungry at all. Very thirsty. Dizziness is associated. The symptoms are endless because depending on where you're at, the purging process will bring on that type of cleansing and healing. And every chakra system is going to give you something else. Like, you're going to be dizzy because it's going to be affecting your third eye chakra. could be one day, and then it goes to your solar plexus, and now you're going to be queasy, or really hungry, or using the bathroom all the time. That's why it feels different for some people, because if it affects my third eye and affects your solar plexus on the same day, we're feeling different symptoms. Now it might flip the following day where I am feeling my solar plexus and someone else is having their third eye being activated a little more. Do you understand why? No matter what, we are all receiving the same stuff. It's just the energy is going to go where it needs to go first. And it's just, that's where it goes. But it will make its way with wherever it has to be at, different time frames, but it will all be done. So when you can just always stay in alignment with your own journey, use information that people are giving to you, and allow yours to do whatever it's supposed to do within you, you can get through your own journey as quickly as you're allowing it to. But if you're always over here where I am not experiencing this, so am I really in alignment with what they're talking about? Or I'm experiencing more and they're not, and why this? You're always asking why and comparing journeys, then you're not focusing on your own self. You're not focusing on your own progress, which means you're building resistance. That you're in denial about your own experience, and you're not allowing it to create this natural flow within you. Take in information as best as you possibly can and focus on whatever you are experiencing, and that is it. So I hope this has helped, and I'm going to post this video I guess today, which is July the 17th, my son's birthday, and I will wait to post the other video, because this next video that I am going to post is going to allow us to have a huge or an important experience that's going to follow for us based upon wherever we are currently at. I am looking forward to it. I have had great experiences with it in the past, and I have been guided towards that point where great things, miracles, blessings are going to be bestowed upon us during that time. So I'm looking forward to it, and I can't wait to post that video about it. I hope all of this helps, and just brace yourself, because we are in for an accelerated ride. This is Christy. Much love, health, and healing your way. I am bringing purpose to your life. Take care.